Hey. What's going on? It's good to be back. It's good to be on. It's good to be live today. What's good with you? I see five people are on already. Talk to me in the comments section, fam. What's going on? How are you doing today? Are you ready for this coaching? Ready for this coaching corner, man? Listen, who's going to get it? Who's going to have the first comment, first question answered while we tee up and wait for our actual coaching client? Who's going to get it? Who's going to be there? Who's going to ask it? Don't wait for it. Don't wait for it. It's good to be here, man. George Canella says, good afternoon, Kirk. Man, George, man, that's what's up, man. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out, bro. Really appreciate that. That is awesome. Thank you, George, for being here with us today. Yeah. Let me see what else we got. I just messaged our guest. I want to see if at all possible they are gonna know if they're still planning on making it or not. Come on. So George, man, what's going on with you? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Excited to have you with us for the coaching corner. And in the coaching corner, this is where we get a chance to answer your questions. This is where we get a chance to, break down sometimes hard to explain, hard to describe topics and concepts and strategies so that you can implement them. This is a space where we want to ensure that you leave unstuck. Now, a large portion of our time together is actually dedicated towards whoever the brave person is that has decided to sign up and come join us live. So we're waiting for that person. But as usual, I don't know if you've never been to one of these before. It is not uncommon for somebody to, not necessarily make it. It is not uncommon. So definitely wanted to make sure you're aware of that and that we are able to engage in this way. Let me see what we got here. Put these things on repeat. I don't know what happened, why they're not on repeat. Lo-fi needs to be on repeat as well. So, I see you. I see Dwayne Wood is in the space. Thank you so much for being here, Dwayne Wood. Thank you for being here. Glad I could catch you live today, George Canella says. Thank you for being here, man. We appreciate it. Listen, I love it. Let me see what we got. I think Tucson is in. This is the name of our candidate for today. 9 of you hanging out with us on the live. ND says, Kirkland, as always. The lo-fi. Man, Kirkland, I haven't heard that name in a long time. All right, so I want to kind of set some ground rules as we get ready to dive in here. James Bush is on the live, says, hey, what's up, Kirk? Great concept for a show. Let's add this comment. Great concept for a show. I wasn't sure if my YouTube channel would be a good fit since I'm not trying to monetize the channel. Thoughts? You're a good fit if you're trying to push content. It's not about monetization. It's all about your end goal. So I think you did sign up. Well, at least you did send a message. So it's up to you. My team should be able to send you back a link so that you can actually book the session, and then we'll get you on the show, man. I'm glad to hear that from you. Let me set some ground rules as we get ready to begin. Our guest is actually waiting in the background, waiting for us to bring him on. The ground rules is simply put, man, if you're gonna be mean, we're gonna kick you out of the chat. We got moderators here today. If you're gonna be mean, we're gonna kick you out of the chat. If you're not gonna be constructive, we're gonna kick you. Those are the two main things, honestly. We want to have a good time. We hope that you will learn also from what is being shared with this particular person as we look at their platform, as we look at their strategy for content. And so without any further ado, let's get to it. Let's bring on our client. Can I hear you?
I believe so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
Okay, good,
We
good, good.
we're in the coaching corner, man. And I want me to make sure I got you turned all the way up. I do. So, man, listen, we always started off like this, but I can take the blur off. You don't have to be in witness
Okay,
protection. It's up to you. I always make that choice up to you. If you
we're
want to
set.
be, you want me to take it off? Is that okay?
Yeah, this is your show. I'm here to serve. I'm on the
No, no,
coaching
no.
corner.
This is totally your decision, brother. Completely and totally your decision. So if you want me to take it off, I'll take it off. If not, we'll leave it on. It's up to you. I'm not making that decision. I see ND in the
Okay,
chat. Thank you so much. I
no,
didn't hear you.
let's. I'm interested in how the process goes. Let's. If this is what you normally do, let's do it. But I'm not hiding from anybody or anything.
No. Some people are. And so if you're saying you're not, then
Oh, okay.
we'll take it off. It's totally up to you. It's not a it's not a trick question. Some people are like, nah, give me my privacy. I don't want people knowing who I am. So it's up to
Well,
you.
let's say private for right now, unless because I want to hear without bias in case somebody has.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Good. All right. So first thing we're going to want to do is tell us a little bit about your platform. What is the type of content that you want to create? And I know you've already started a little bit of the process, but we want to give people the background. So talk to me about number 1 and number 2. And for those that are watching, you're going to hear this over and over and over again. Target audience value proposition. Those are number 1 and number 2. What are those two? And I want to say number 1 and number 2. I don't want to say that in order of importance. This is just what it is. So what's number 1 and number 2 for you as you look to dive into these spaces for content?
This is so funny. I actually went through and I reviewed your the 6 steps that you took me through, and wrote it down, not realizing this was going to be like this. But one of the things, I guess, the main thing I want to be able to do is create a platform for individuals that have multiple skill sets. In that, of course, the title of my push idea, and I don't know if I need to share that now, but that kind of gives the umbrella of where I'm going. How to be a Scotty in a Michael Jordan world. And that idea, one of the reasons I looked at that is because, when I had an experience for pretty much the majority of my professional career where I've been working with or under individuals that were as equally gifted or just a little bit more gifted than I was in certain areas. And there would be questions where I would say, okay, am I good enough? Am I able to be that MJ type of person? The committees would look for these type of individuals. The people who talk say, man, you need to be like that particular person. And there was a certain type of giftedness or skill that was always celebrated. And I began to ask myself the question, what does that look like? And I would get, different positions, but it would be the same position, always an associate, always in a semi equally gifted realm. And I was just like, how do you navigate in spaces like this when people will come up to you and say, where's the leader, or where's the boss, or and you're standing there saying, listen, the boss is going to tell me, or the leader is going to tell me to do exactly what you're telling me. So you might as well tell me. And that can kind of mess with my mind, to be honest with you.
Right.
And I really had to realize when I saw The Last Dance and realized, man, Michael Jordan scored 36 point, I think it was like 30. It was the highest scoring average in the league prior to the year before Scotty was drafted. But I also recognized he couldn't beat the Lakers. He couldn't beat the Celtics. He couldn't get out the first round. And it wasn't until Scotty came on that they actually became a formidable duo. And of course, we know they won the three championships. But Jordan never won a championship without Scotty. And so what I wanted to be able to do is for those Scotties out there to identify how you can navigate and not just survive, but you can actually thrive in these environments. But you have to, number one, kind of identify who you are, and then also be able to know how you can work best in a team. And so that's kind of my passion.
There's a couple of things. I want to dive in here. So your topic is non-negotiable. Your topic is, of course, your own. Yes, we can help to fine tune your topic. We can help you point you in the direction, but a person must choose their topic. A topic choice is as personal as getting married. I mean, it is something that you must be completely vested in. And what I can say to you right off the bat, right as you're sharing right now, is that you have lived what you're talking about. You started right off by saying, I have found myself for the majority of my professional career in these types of spaces. So even though I'm not going to necessarily rehearse what was shared in terms of the topic itself, what I can check a box of is that your topic is your lived experience. And so because it's your lived experience, there's a number of things that are just going to fall right into place naturally. from a coaching perspective, as from a content perspective, there's a number of things that fall into place, because when other Scotties, right, see you, they will recognize in your story themselves. They will see themselves in your story. And so that part is very critical when you talk about picking a topic. Now the rest of it becomes some of the mechanics. And I know that you have looked at your topic from a very macro perspective, right? From a large perspective. And then I've also challenged you to look at your topic from a micro perspective. What are some of those, details that you would want to share? Let me say it a different way. What would you break it down to in terms of actual content that you would provide? Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. Number one, content is broken into 3 different buckets. Number one, it's discoverable. What allows you to be discoverable? Content that allows you to be discoverable is not necessarily content that you're making for your audience, particularly like those who've already subscribed, those who've already, know, like, and trust you. It is content that is meant to catch the algorithm's attention. It's meant sometimes even to go with current trends as it relates to your topic, because you want to make sure that you are being discovered. So discoverable content, especially as you get started. Now, let me ask this real quick. Have you launched any content, whether you're on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook? Have you launched any content platforms yet?
No. My coach said I needed 52 things I needed to write down. So I got the 52.
Wait a minute.
And then I was going through and I got an avatar. So I got that. So I have not been told to do the launching.
No. I just wanted you to say it. I already knew the answer, but we're going to walk through some of those pieces as well. You're in a position of stacking the deck. One of the things that, so let me just finish my original thought. There's 3 buckets. One bucket is discoverability. Second bucket is core content, meaning this is your core topic. You're actually doubling down. In fact, you might even be going a couple layers deeper with your core topic, core content, core topic. Then the third bucket is advertising. And based on where you are, your majority of your content is going to either be discovery. In fact, it's going to be 90% discovery, because you're actually getting ready to launch. So you want to put content out there that will help people to find you, will help your avatar to find you and come to your channel, to come to your platforms and consume your content and gain the value from your content. So discovery type content is where you're going to be actually sitting at the most right now. So let me just kind of finish that part off. Those are the 3 buckets. Advertising, meaning this is how you get paid. Right? When sponsors come up and say, hey, we'd love to get on your show, like, we have stuff for Scotty and we think that this is a good fit and we'd love to be able to get in. Of course, there's a method to that madness as well. I won't even dive into it, because again, that is not going to be your focal point right now. Core content, you're going to have to do a good little dance of mixing your core content in with your discovery, right? Finding ways to jump on the algorithms, trends right now, so that you can actually get your content out there to the broadest audience possible. So that's where we kind of are right there. One of the things that I said earlier is that he is in a position of stacking the deck currently. So you're one of the main issues for everybody who creates content is, how do I stay consistent? How do I maintain over the long haul? And this is not something that you necessarily answer right up front, because you don't necessarily have a coach. But somebody who has actually walked this road before is going to tell you consistency eats everything else out. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how you could turn on the camera and actual magic comes out. It doesn't matter if you are not consistent. If people don't have a way to consistently gain access to your genius, it doesn't matter. So what we're looking to do is put guardrails is the term I'm looking for. Guardrails in place to be able to maintain consistency. And so 52 topics is the task that I was given to you. 52 topics. These are very small, bite-sized, 3 to 5 minute, maybe 7 minute, maybe 7 minute videos that you can put out, that you have a list already. And because you have that list, you can begin creating your content. So 52 topics, meaning you have one for every week of the year. And once you get to, this is the way I do it, once you get to 10 or so created videos, you're developing a rhythm of creating the video. Hopefully over the process of creating those first 10 videos, you're actually refining and fine tuning that process to ensure that you can make those videos quicker. You can stay on top of them. And by creating the video, I mean the entire process. We're talking about thumbnail, description. We're talking about the actual video, the video being edited and actually posted and waiting in a private fashion on your YouTube channel. The videos are done and they're ready. I don't mean the videos have been edited and they're sitting on your Google Drive somewhere. I mean that they're actually uploaded, posted. They're just sitting private, waiting for essentially permission to go ahead and release the first video. And there is a launch strategy that we can employ as well. But you're right in that lane right now where you have those 52 videos, 52 topics, I should say. Now, are we able to pull up some of your topics, or better yet, how do you want to? We've kind of covered the ground that we've already done together in terms of where you are currently. This is where you are. How do you want to? Well, I have an answer for this, but anyway, how do you want to manage this particular session? What would you feel would be the best thing you'd want to get out of this session today?
Kind of get an idea of what's next. I think
Right.
once you get these, I think you did a really good job identifying the steps to, get the 52 topics, identify your avatar, kind of identifying what that your unique, getting your ask out of the way,
There it is. There it
things
is.
like that. What is next when it comes to how do you get, like, once you get, yeah, I think that's it. I'm got the first two steps, got those done, and
Good.
then
So the next thing is going to be twofold. So the next thing is going to be, you have your video topics. We need to now create a thumbnail and a description for the topic. Pick one topic, which would be your first video. This is you have that topic. Now I want to say something to you and to everybody that's listening. Your topics don't necessarily have to be the title of the video. You have freedom. In fact, I have been toying with several clients of doing a slightly different topic on the thumbnail than I actually have as in the as a title for the video, because you're wanting to kind of create intrigue. You want to kind of help people to gravitate towards what exactly are they meaning by this particular piece. You want to also start a conversation with your thumbnail, and that continues as they look at the title, and if they look at the description. Now, a lot of people don't look at descriptions. I mean, when I say a lot of people do not look at descriptions, but you know who does look at descriptions? YouTube. The platform itself looks at the description, and it's not looking at the description to see what the video is about. It's looking at the description to confirm. So what YouTube does, and several other platforms are doing this as well, but we're focusing my attention on YouTube right at the second. What YouTube will do is that it will literally transcribe your entire video. It knows what words you're saying, and it understands. I wanted somebody to understand. So you got to hear this. It understands what you're speaking to and who you're speaking to. And so all they're doing is looking at your title and your description to say, is it confirmed with what's in the video? Or is this a bait and switch? Is it confirmed? Is he trying to reach who his content is trying to reach? And so you do want to make sure that those steps are done. You want to check those boxes, because you also want that to be confirmed. When it's confirmed, YouTube can now say, okay, well then I kind of have an idea of who to put this video in front of. And once if YouTube can suggest it, now we can get into some of the analytics and other things for a later session. But when you start to look at where my traffic is coming from on a particular video, and you start to see things like suggested, because that's where YouTube says, we know this type of person is looking for this kind of content. You're making this kind of content. We're just going to suggest one. And if that person watches it and maybe watches yet another, they're going to now start sending that person your content on a fairly regular basis. there are people who are not even subscribed to my channel, but because they watch on a regular basis, they're constantly being suggested my content. They haven't subscribed. And so while subscribing is, yes, you know, on the main street, what everybody's looking at, what's your subscriber count? Views, your view count, and your AVD, average view duration. Those are the numbers that really speak to us as creators and let us know, you know, this is, you're on this path. This is the kind of thing that you're doing. So your next step is going to be looking at something like creating a thumbnail. Now, let's actually walk that through. I want to see if I can find an example. I'm clicking through my Canva setup here, and I'm looking for an example that I think would be beneficial for you. Okay, let's go back here. All right, boom. All right, so here maybe. All right, here we go. Boom. So let's go like that and make this a little bit smaller. You know, sometimes it's a little too big. All right, so we're going to our next scene, and boom. All right, so here is an example. This is an example of a thumbnail. Did Ecamm replace Canva? Ecamm Live version 4.1. Now, the reason for the video was to showcase Ecamm Live version 4.1. But what I'm going to say in the video multiple times is that there are functions and features that Ecamm has put into 4.1 that essentially look like and feel like Canva. So my title on the thumbnail is, did Ecamm replace Canva? That's the title on the thumbnail. Very much one of those things that people will be like, oh, did it? People will have to now answer that question for themselves, or they'll do one of three things. They'll either say, no, it didn't, and they'll scroll on. And that's okay with me. Or they'll say, I don't think it did. Or better yet, they'll say, or let me say the second one is, yes, it did. And they'll say, I already know that Ecamm has already replaced Canva with its new versions in 4.1. And they'll also scroll on. Those two people, I'm okay with them doing that. But the middle person is not 100% sure. And there's a level of curiosity that has been instilled in them simply by looking at the thumbnail. They're now curious. I don't think it did. I love Canva. The heck is Ecamm? Let me click on this video. You see what I'm saying? So that curiosity enables you to start the conversation. Now, you want in the first few seconds of your video, I know that we're getting past ourselves, but you want in your first few seconds of the video to continue the conversation that was started with your thumbnail. This is why thumbnail and description are so critically important, because you want to make sure you start the conversation. Somebody's scrolling through, they see their suggested page by YouTube. They see this flyer, thumbnail, I should say, and then that starts a conversation that they want to continue, and then you move into that with your content. Let me pull up one or two others. Add another camera angle with software. Again, if you're interested in doing that, you would be okay. Sign me up. And I put the arrow there. I put another screenshot that actually shows three people of different views of the same person. All of those are additional items that I've added to the thumbnail because I'm trying to start a conversation. Same concept here, split camera in Ecamm. And I actually have my camera split with the arrows in between and circling that point, because this is the main focal point of the video. But you want to say with pictures what you can't say with words. You know, this thumbnail is kind of like the poster. This is what is going to draw people in, or it's going to cause them to swipe and continue on their way. Yeah. I see it. The tag attracts the folks that use Canva on a frequent basis. There it is. Especially for that first one that we looked at there. Did Ecamm replace Canva? There are people who will use this, who use Canva on a regular basis and say, what? Is there something new out there? Let me go and check. And you get a chance to draw from that. That's again one of those things that we call discoverability. So I've got a blank screen here. Are you still with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So talk to me about give me your first topic.
I think that's a great question. Another question to start at identifying the first topic. Out of those 52, do you start with introducing yourself? Do you start introducing your topic? Do you start introducing? I think that's kind of where my next question would be. Which one of the 52 do you start? Where do you start?
So I don't want to pull up the 52 because those are your topics and those are your intellectual property. So we're going to leave the 52 behind the wall. What I will say, however, is we talked about the different buckets of content. And the main one, of course, is discoverability. This is your first video. You want people to find you. In the video, without saying certain things, you can tell people who you are. You can talk as you're sharing with people the Scotty journey. Let's say we select a topic that kind of helps to help people identify themselves as being part of your crew. Now, one of the other things that I asked you to do, and for those that are not aware, there is a whole playlist I have on my channel called How to Establish Yourself as an Expert with Content. How to establish yourself as an expert with content. And so one of the things I did ask you to do was to go through that. And I think you did, because it sounded like you were using some of the terms that I use in that series. One of the things that I talk about in that first video is station identification. And station identification is the practice of letting people know they're in the right place. There's station identification in the airport, in the shopping market, right? In the supermarket, I should say, in the bus terminal, right? There's station identification. Quite literally, everywhere we go, we have these experiences where people are saying you're in the right place. You want to do something similar with your first, piece of content that lets all the Scotties of the world know you're in the right place. Maybe it is that you tell a personal story, but there's got to be something that you're pulling from it that will help the Scotties of the world know they're in the right place. There's got to be something that is of value in that story, something you can tell very quickly, something that hopefully is a little funny and maybe even pulls from some of the trends of today, right? I mean, look, say The Last Dance is pretty big. In terms of ESPN's 30 for 30. I don't know if that's something you want to take, try to launch off of. But there's some opportunities there from a discoverability standpoint. So again, I'm not trying to be prescriptive in terms of what you want to do for that first one, but I want to give you some, again, guidelines in terms of this is what you want that first set of videos to look like. I wouldn't necessarily even choose one. I would choose a set of them because you want to be able to record them kind of in quick succession so that you can edit them up and then know that you have those done. So
if I can ask you a random question, do you change clothes with every video? Like if you're doing multiple videos in a row, do you change clothes?
That's a really good question. The answer is no, I do not. No, I don't. If I'm recording a series of videos, the video series, the how to establish yourself as an expert with content, I did change my shirts. I think I did. Yes, I'd recorded all of them in one sitting, all 6.
Got it.
But I did change my shirt. But there are several other videos. I mean, the video that came out last Sunday and then the video that will come out next Sunday on my channel, I recorded all those in one sitting a couple of weeks back and never changed anything. So it's up to you.
Okay. And if you put them out every week, like, I do that same clothes on for the whole month. No.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean, look, it can almost be a uniform. Like if you have something that people know you for, it becomes part of the brand. And that's, again, a little bit further down. There are what we call, sacred phrases and sacred things. Like for me, this beanie became one of those things that I was known for. It was not purposeful. Let me scroll down here a little bit. You see it's on my head in this. It wasn't on purpose. It was just that my hair is not always camera ready, but this thing is. So I literally have 10 of them around the house. Two or three of them that I can put my hand on right now. But the idea was I can throw this on and begin and get myself recording. Again, one of those hacks that allows me to get out of the way. It's like, man, I don't really want to record a video right now because my hair's not cut. I don't really care if it's not cut, because you see that line right there? It's a nice line. So actually, I'm right after this session, I'm actually going to the barber for a haircut because I'm traveling tomorrow. But the idea is putting those hacks in place that allow you to create content most consistently and without having any barriers. Secondly, it became something that my audience identified with. In fact, when I look at the things that I sell on Amazon, I sell these a lot. Yeah, because I have the link to this in my cart. I mean, not my page on Amazon. So people are like, oh, let me buy that. Let me buy the beanie that Kirk wears. So it's one of those things. So now it has become part of my uniform. I sometimes wear it even when I have a haircut, right? Because my audiences knows me for it. So you, again, will develop those kinds of normative behaviors with your content as well. Had a chance to have somebody on the podcast recently, and they gave a name to their audience. They call them chimes. I thought that was really awesome. They don't even know that they're tapping into this whole world of self-identification, because once you name your audience can, once you give your audience a name, your audience has to now decide, am I a chime or am I not? And if they say I am, oh, they're a fan for life. They're a fan for life. They'll watch your content even if all you do is go live to eat a bag of chips. Right? They'll watch that. They have that level of connectedness because they know you, and they feel they've identified themselves with you. Like, nah, y'all don't know my guy like this. I've been around since before we even had a name for the audience. You know what I mean? So there's that whole journey to look forward to as you kind of grow with your content. But so I know we don't necessarily have a topic to do, but let's just use an example, because I want to walk you through this process of looking at yes, we are here, Kirk. I want to walk you through this example of creating a thumbnail and some of the things to be thinking about, especially as you see all these templates on the side here that you could possibly work with. Just give me one example topic. This may not be the one you end up doing first, but let's take one and let's just walk this process through as we get, as we continue through this session.
I mean, let's just throw out there why Scotty's better than Michael. You know what I'm saying? By MJ.
Dude, this is exactly what. Why is Scotty better than Michael? I want to watch that video already. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So why is Scotty better than Michael? So let's, there's so many different things to do here. So we're not going to basketball. So let's just take a look at some of the templates that are already there for basketball. And so I'm going to try and zoom in here a little bit. I don't know how well you're seeing that.
Okay.
Is that better? All right, so daily game stats. There's a whole, I don't know if we want to actually show people. I don't know if we want to really sit, but maybe we want to show like the ball here or something. I don't know. And then again, another thing that will play into which one?
That one right there, with the ball in front of the guy. Yeah, let's run.
Okay, so let's throw this up. So now we pull this up, and this is how, it's one of the reasons why I absolutely love Canva. It gives you the color, patterns and stuff like that. It gives you the branding and different things like that. So I like this because it doesn't necessarily show the person's face. It just shows the basketball is really the focal point. We don't even know who that is. Or maybe we do. Maybe his name is Daniel Gallego. But the point is, we're going to get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that. And we can start making some changes. HAEL. So sometimes you got to make some changes to the design so that it actually works. So this is a little bit bigger than the other piece, so we want to make that a little bit bigger so we can actually get that on, and we want to put this centered on that, Michael, and let's say Pippin. All right, there's still a lot more left to do because I mean
Mhm.
clearly we've only touched on Michael and Pippen, but we definitely want to do more than just that. So hold on, we're gonna get this right. Come on, there we go. So I'm just trying to make that a little smaller, just pulling these in. I'm not doing anything special just yet. We're trying to utilize the template as it is. Maybe there might be some things that we don't necessarily want. Michael and Pippen, we got this thing here. Let's try and pull this out some. Trying to keep it with the other elements that it's that's already grouped with. Oh wow, they've did it. I love these designs as well. They do such a great job with them. All right, so we are going to. I don't know if we're gonna be able to move this up properly. So we got Michael moved up. Let's move this up. We'll keep that right at the corner. It's just a block actually, and we're gonna move this. It's just a block, yeah. We'll move this. I'm not a big fan of subscribe, but you're in a discovery type place. You may want to keep that. So let's keep that. I'm just putting it to the side right now. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. Michael and Pippen. So now we can just type. We want to get in some different other text. Another thing that I like to do to grab text, I'm going to add a page here, is I just try to grab from the different places that I see. So I'm looking on the side here and say, okay, because if you hit T, it's going to give you some text. But I'm not. Let's take a look here. Okay, this of the week, maybe game highlight. I like that text. Control C, Control V.
Got it.
Now
I was working in Canva before this conversation. I was trying to figure out, and so this has been helping me with some other stuff I'm doing.
yeah.
This is great. Okay.
So now let's get this game highlight. So let's say is
Who's the greatest? I don't know.
uh
You said is Michael better than
what was the topic you said again?
Is Scotty better than MJ? Or why Scotty's better
Why
than MJ?
Scotty is better? Okay. Why? So and again they've made it the letter spacing very wide. You can bring that in. We can make that even bigger. We can pull that to the side, make that a little better. And so now that I know that these are supposed to be, these are actually supposed to be. Come on. All right, we're gonna move that to the side for just a second. So I can't seem to get one of those days. All right, I want to get the whole thing, and I'm gonna group it. That way I don't have to try and grab it anymore. So we got Michael down here. Let's move him off to the side here as well. Let's group our Pippen stuff. Group that. Put that up. Why Scottie Pippen? Let's move that together as a group. Move. All right. Boom, boom, boom. All right. See what we did? So we don't have to put everything in the big box. We know what is gonna, because we want people to be like, oh, what is it? Scotty and Pip, Michael, what's going on? We want to do have that that curiosity. I'll put this back down at the bottom where it was. I think it was really nice there. Why Scottie Pippen is better than Michael? We just need Jordan.
Which put MJ.
Huh?
But MJ.
You could do that. You could do that.
Oh.
You could do that. I mean, listen, you do anything you want. It's you know what I mean? It's like you get to create this thing. But I kind of like that. I like that. I kind of like that. I mean, so now it's like, oh wait, it's also kind of mashed up in there. Why Scottie Pippen is better than Michael Jordan? Let me know in the comment section. Will you click on this video? Will you click on this video? Come on, talk to us in the comment section. All right, let's move our subscribe back. And Now, what's the underlying theme of this video? Is it basketball?
Are you asking? No.
No, I'm asking you. Yeah, I'm actually asking you now. Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be basketball, but basketball would be the background. So if I were to talk about this, I would, initially talk about stats and stuff like that. Or I could even start with the, I think 36.1, I think that's what it was, and deal with how great, that was, but it never yielded a championship.
Understood.
And so when we're talking
but your core messaging about the Scotties of the world is what, as it pertains to this, what could be your launch topic?
What would be
you
the
get my
core
point?
message?
So you're dealing with, now I have insider information that the rest of the audience doesn't have, but you're dealing with how to come first when you're second, something like that. So the idea, the concept, the overarching concept should always be present, right? You always want to bring them back to ground zero, essentially, right? So even though you're dealing with one video, what do you want Scotty to walk away with?
I'm enough.
That's it. That's enough. That sufficiency.
Yeah.
Sufficiency. So somebody says that Jordan blends in too much to get a different color. I love the comment section. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. A darker yellow maybe. I don't know. Blue? No, blue doesn't pop. I don't know. The comment section is telling me I need to get my life right.
You said maybe bigger, yeah.
Huh? I don't know, but I'm waiting on you though. I want you to tell me.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's go to while I'm doing this, I want, so you want Scotty to walk away with the idea, the concept that he is enough, that Scotty is enough.
Yeah, I want that light bulb to come on and be like, oh shoot, I'm in the league too.
Boom.
And idea of, not just you in the league, but Scotty's in the Hall of Fame.
Come on, talk about it.
And so, like, wait a second, like those are some key things. Like, even though you may not have a huge brand, like there's still some major accomplishments you're making. And I think for that person to be like, dang, I'm here again, they realize, wait a second, I'm a valuable contributor to the team, not just valuable. Like we wouldn't be winning with it if I wasn't here. And I think I would want them to kind of, once they're finished with this section, be like, oh shoot, like I am on the Olympic team. I have, because getting outside of I walk down the aisle and I don't see myself in a Wheaties box. It's like, dang, I'm not. But wait a second, you have all these other accomplishments that you have to celebrate as well.
I like it. I like what you're saying, man. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I'm just trying to. There's a couple of the principles I'm wanting to make sure we double click on here. One of the things I want to do, that I like to do, and the thing is, a lot of what you're saying is great for you to be thinking through that whole concept. Scotty, I want to speak specifically to Scotty, and maybe the title isn't so much that Scotty is better than Michael. Maybe we need to augment that a little bit, just based on what you've been saying. Maybe, but again, thinking it through and coming up with those kinds of concepts to whittle down, to really hone in on what it is you want people to walk away with, that's going to be critical for your content. Now, one of the things that we always do is to scroll all the way down. Now, when we scroll all the way down, we want to be able to, I would scroll down to about right here. When I can get about 4 on the page, can I still see the text? Can I still clearly make out what's happening? And if I can't, then I need to make it bigger. Then I need to make it, look at the Ecamm one. You can still see that. You look at the Learn live streaming one. You can still see that. Look at the add another camera angle. You can still see it. Because even in its smallest state, why? Because we purposely made it that size when it was smaller. Sometimes design and thumbnails don't necessarily work the same way. So we've got to make this bigger. And that is something I definitely wanted to, oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do at all. I'm zooming in the wrong way. All right, so here we go. That's something I definitely wanted to make sure we do together, because as you look to make some of these for yourself, you're going to be designing it with it big. But you definitely want to make sure you design with it to take a look at the design from a smaller perspective, and then actually make it bigger from there. here's the thing that why I was asking the question about what is your overarching thing that you want people to walk away with. If it is sufficiency, then maybe we need to look at a way to title it that includes sufficiency, not necessarily the word. Maybe there's a picture, maybe there's an image, maybe there's a graphic that screams "I am enough," that will relay that almost subconsciously to the person who's watching, to the person who's going to click. Now, one of the last things I want to share here, we jumped on a little after 12, so we just got a few more minutes. But anyway, the idea is the show is going to finish at 1:15, so there's that. But one of the things I want to make sure we do here is there's what's the term I'm looking for? Done is better than almost perfect. Done is better than perfect every single time. Actually, I don't want you to, especially for your thumbnail and especially for your description and things like that, we're not going to be tweaking. We're not making a Picasso. We're not making a work of art. If you look at some of these, I mean, it's really just me on a background with the wording. Some of them are. Every now and again, I will play with the imaging to try to pull that piece in. Here I did a split thing. That was simple and easy to do because of what I was looking at. Here I did live stream markers, and I actually have markers on the background and then pointing to a marker on a timeline. If you know what a video editor is, then this means something to you. If you don't, this actually means nothing. So you actually will want to say, what are they for? Yeah, what are they for? Let me click this video. And here's video editing equals live video playlist. What does that mean? And I have arrows pointing to the two different things. Here's the playlist. Here's video editing. Again, not a whole lot going into the design of it. We don't want to spend hours on the design. We want to make sure that it is readable, that it's legible, and we want to make sure that it does create some kind of an intrigue and starts a conversation. But those are the things that we want to do that as quickly as possible. And of course, as you get your reps in under your belt, you're going to be able to do that in a very quick way. I still feel like this is a great thumbnail, but it's still too small. The font on these letters here, we may need to make them bolder or something, because when you scroll it down, all you see is Pippen and Jordan, right? So all you see is Pippen and Jordan. What's going on? Okay, there we go. All right. Scroll it down. I can still see why Scotty. I can still see it, but want it to be a little bit bigger.
Okay, that's helpful.
To be a little bit bigger. So that is definitely something to keep in mind as well. Yeah. So from so now that we've kind of touched on this piece, I want to go back and just kind of talk through. Let's go back here. All right, we go. We're back. I want to go back to this scene because I do want to land on what are your next steps. What are your next steps? So we talked about your 52 topics, and I want to say this to those who are watching, and I want to say thanks to those who are continuing to watch. He has already put together 52 topics under this concept. So talk about the ultimate hack in getting yourself towards consistency. One of the biggest reasons people stop creating content is because they don't know what to create next. When you have a barrage of content to make, when you start to recognize that every little thing is content, then you begin to recognize, like, okay, so I probably will never run out of videos. Once you arrive at that place, consistency becomes like putting on your pants in the morning. Hopefully you put on your pants. So that's kind of where you land on where that's concerned. Now, next steps for you is going through and making sure that you have a combo. Your thumbnail, title, description. You want to make sure you have thumbnail, title, description that you would click on. Like, show it to your son, show it to your wife, show it to your colleague. Would you click on that? If that popped up, tell me what immediately comes to mind. We often think that we need, quote unquote, an expert to do that kind of feedback for us. And I love that. I love doing that for people, but I'm always going to send you back to the consumer, because the consumer doesn't build themselves as an expert. The consumer just knows what they want to click on. Would you click on that? Now, maybe your son, your wife, your colleague, maybe they're not Scotties, so maybe that may not work. But you may have somebody in your sphere that you just like, yeah, I'm kind of making this for them. Let me see what they'll click on. And getting that level of feedback is absolutely critical. I often will watch my YouTube videos with my family. I don't force them to do this. This is kind of a Sunday evening thing that we do. But whenever I see them pick up their phone or stop paying attention, I recognize that there's something that is happening in the video that has lost them. I'm not holding their attention. That's something that, again, you'll learn over time. Do I pull the video down and re-edit it? No. I just make note of that because I've got another video to create. Every week, I've got another video to create. So if I didn't get it right in this one, that's okay. I'll get it right in the next one, or I'll get it right in the next one, or the next one after that, because I always have another video to create. So, but understanding those viewer cues and signals are also critical. And I want you to begin looking at your own viewer signals and cues as you consume content. Newsflash, if you're going to be a content creator, you will need to consume more content. And so as you consume more content, you will get a feel for what you like, what you don't like, but why did you do the things that you did in the particular way that you did them? Okay, I clicked on this video but why did I click on it? What about its thumbnail or description made me click? We often do not ask ourselves those questions. Understanding those viewer signals, that is part of your, in my opinion, action items. Those are part of your action items. I don't like to say homework. I want to say next steps. Understanding viewer signals. So on the content creator side, as you grow as a creator, your action item is, how do I understand my viewer signals? How do I recognize viewer signals in others? So that's where you're going to take your thumbnail, show it to others. Would you click on that? What do you think this is about? What are you hearing when you see this, or this title? What does this title say to you? Do those things because it's going to help you understand viewer signals. And then, of course, start looking at your own viewer signals. So on the content creator side, that's what you're doing. But from a practical next step in the journey, we want to make sure that you have the combo ready for at least 2 to 3 videos. Title, description, thumbnail. Title, description, thumbnail. Those are the things that we're going to do. Dwayne Wood says, I love the practical examples. I love the walkthrough. I see Dorothy says that Canva session was really good. I'm glad that you were able to enjoy that. And again, this is why we're in this space, to kind of give people a window into how hands-on our coaching sessions can be. Doc, you good?
I am, man. This has been rich. I've been taking some notes. So I got several things here to begin looking at, playing on, working on. And I'm excited. I'm excited for not just me, but the other individuals that are here that are really great, gaining a lot. So this has been a blessing for a number of folks.
Good. Hey, man, it helps the channel. It helps people see what's possible. And again, fam, if you are interested in coaching, there's several ways that you can connect. In the description of the video right now, there are 2. Number 1, you drop an email to info@howitallworks. In fact, I'm typing that into the chat right now. info@howitallworks.com. get a free. So that's how you get a free session. I'm putting that into the chat right now. info@howitallworks.com. You're not interested in a free session, right? You don't want to do this live. That's okay. Listen, since I put the thing out there saying that this is something that you can do, people have messaged me saying, I don't want a free session, I want a paid session, and that's okay. So I've got a couple of paid sessions already scheduled for January because they're like, nah, I don't want the free session. I want a one-on-one. So the way to do that is to go to kirkrnugent.com and /coaching. So I'm just typing a little slower than normal. Kirk R. Nugent / boom. So you would just go to that page, and it's a 4-step process, which starts with a initial an intake coaching call. And so kirkrnugent.com /coaching. That's where you'd want to go to be able to start that process. Man, I cannot thank you enough for coming through today, man. This has been rich. Truly appreciate it. I'm gonna do some Q&A with the audience real quick before we get gone, but I want to release you, get you back to your day, man. And again, can't thank you enough for coming through and hanging out. Hope to hear from you again. No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I think to be able to have this as an introduction to this journey has been really helpful. And I'm hoping that my journey has been helpful to those who are watching, because this has been something. I'm sitting here, have all my notes here, trying to navigate and put them all together and down. But this has been really rich to kind of see it in real time. It's been very helpful. So thank you.
Absolutely, man. Listen, you're taking a concept, a thought, an imagination, a dream, if you will, and you're bringing it to life. You're literally breathing into it right now. This is why I so resonate with Jordan Rayner's book, The Christian's Call to Create, because quite literally before God told us that he was omnipotent, before he told us he was, almighty, before he gave us any other attribute of himself, he says right there in the beginning, I'm a creator. I am a creator, and that is the aspect of himself that he has indelibly impressed upon each one of us. And so I'm excited to help shepherd that journey for you and for anybody else that is excited to take that concept, that kernel, that thing that you've had in your mind is like, man, I really would love to speak to this particular group. I'd really like to serve in this way. I feel like my lived experience gives me unique credibility with this particular audience. If you want to take that from concept and bring it to reality, I'd love to be able to be your coach. So those two things are in the chat right now, and we're making those resources available to you. But I want to say a word of thanks to our guest, our coaching client for today, who will continue to be coached, but just not necessarily in this format. But I will definitely be touching base with you again real soon, brother. Thank you so much for coming through.
Sounds good, boss.
All right. And so let's get to a little bit of Q&A, and we will go from there. What you got for me? Anybody got some questions for me? I hope you do, because I've got a little bit of time left. Our coaching client has left. Talk to me. Let me see what you're saying in the comment section. I see 9 of you are still hanging out with us on the live. Dwayne, man, thank you so much for your comments on getting us across the line in terms of the look and feel of that thumbnail. But again, I wanted it to be practical. I wanted him to see the mistakes. I wanted him to see certain colors don't blend with certain colors. I wanted him to see that, these are some of the things that you want to be looking for. But more important than the design of the thumbnail is the impetus to say, I'm going to take the next step. I don't know if you caught that. The impetus to say, what's next? So, because the thing about completing a step is that there is another step. The thing about completing a step is that I'm moving on towards reaching my goal. And that is critical. Because once you have the 52, well, that's the way I do it. In his particular case, this is the way that we did it. There are several other ways that I can get it done as well. But once you have the 52 topics, now we've got to create a thumbnail and craft a description and then record a video. And those steps can be daunting. Sometimes in coaching, the thing that is needed more than the mechanics of how to get it done, it is the freedom. It is the permission. It is the space that we create in coaching that enables you to say, all right, let's do it. So there are some times where I get into a coaching session with a client and I'll say to them, this is not going to be conceptual today. We're going to roll up our sleeves and actually do the next step together. I don't do that all the time, but there are times where you absolutely need somebody who's going to just sit there with you and bang that thing out so that it's done. And now that it's done, we can move on. The concept of coaching that I love is that I am an immovable wall of perspective, of advice, an objective set of eyes to look at what you're doing and say, maybe we need to course correct. Maybe you're not pushing yourself far enough, fast enough, hard enough. Maybe you're taking the easy way out. Maybe you just need a swift kick. I don't know how many of you guys got a chance to catch Morning Motivation today, but it was a tough one for people to listen to. I guarantee you that. All right, let me see what we got in the comments. Micah Fleming says, I have no questions. Bulls says, hey, what's going on? So sorry, Kirk came late, missed most of the show. You can definitely catch the replay, brother. So no worries. It's good to see you though, Doc. It's good to see you, man. I was supposed to be in South Africa this past week and didn't quite work out with the program or the conference that I was supposed to be speaking at. But anyway, James Bush says, I haven't really used thumbnails. Oh, hold on. Let me get back to James Bush. I haven't really used thumbnails since I go live daily, but I see the power of using them. You go live daily and you want to use a thumbnail daily. If for nothing more than for the show once the show is done. One of the things that I love doing for my morning motivation shows is creating the thumbnail after the show is done, because I don't actually know what quote I'm going to use on a day-to-day basis. That comes to me either the night before or the morning of. So I schedule the live streams, and then when the live is done, after I've done the quote and I've hit my points, I now know exactly what I want to create in the thumbnail. So after your live is done, James, that might be a good time, because your live stream is going to be more so for the audience that you already know is going to show up and hang out with you. And if you do want your live stream to gain more audience, then you do need to craft a thumbnail and have a title and a description that are very much going to work with the algorithm. But you want to think of your live stream as two different videos. You have the live video and then the produced video, because once the live is done, it becomes a replayable on-demand video that anyone can watch, and you can release it to the algorithm. Do you know that in YouTube it counts how many people watched live, and then once the live was over, how many people have watched since then? Because it also treats it as two different videos. So you want to make sure you do your title and description. And maybe you had some breakout moment in your live stream that had nothing to do with what your live stream was about. Maybe you take that part, clip that out, make that its own video. But anyway, I digress. The concept of having a thumbnail for your live is still one that's very valid. Brown South Girls, it's been a long time. Really dope session. This is something a lot of new creators need. Way to go, Kirk. I'm so excited for that. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear you say that. And we're hopeful that more people will sign up to come hang out for the coaching corner with Kirk, and sign up to have coaching. Excited for that. Thank you so much for your comments. Is there a tutorial on how to create and add a thumbnail in your arsenal? No, there is not. That's a very good point, and one that I will take under advisement. In fact, let me go make a note right now. Make that note right now. That's a really great point. So let me make that note right now. Okay. Thank you so much for that question. Boom. I've got that. Definitely will look at, I don't know if that's a series of videos or if it's just one video where we could just kind of go in depth for maybe 10 minutes or so. But It's a great question, James Bush. Thank you so much. Any other questions from me before we get ready to close this thing out? No reason to keep it, to make it longer than it needs to be. Plus, my son is already waiting for me to take him to basketball practice, so I'm gonna have to go do that too. But I just wanted to pause. The whole concept of the coaching corner is not just for the client that we bring in, but we want to make sure you guys get your questions answered as well. Anything else? Is there? Let me say one or two last things on the whole concept and the place and the space of coaching. You gotta be ready for coaching. You gotta be ready for somebody to actually, take a peek behind the veil, as it were, and say, what are you doing in there? Yeah. What are you doing in there? What do you have? What's stopping you from going to the next level? What is keeping you back from breakout success? Sometimes you know what it is. Other times it takes somebody coming into your space and recognizing, oh, you're holding yourself back here. I got a chance, a good friend of mine who's a trainer, Dwayne knows who he is. Dwayne Wood knows who he is. So he's a trainer. He came to my home gym and showed me a couple of things that I could do in my home gym. And then I started working out with him in Planet Fitness, right? So started working out with him there. And I remember him saying something about, I could see that you had limited yourself and the type of weight that you could push when I came to your home gym. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to get you into a full gym that has all the weights that you could ever want or imagine. Because in that space, you don't just go to the weight that you know that you have and the weight that you've already been using. You don't just go to that weight, you go to any weight. And when you have the opportunity to choose any weight, I, as your coach or your trainer, want to see which weight are you going to pick up. And he said, since you've been working out with me in this gym, I've seen you pick up consistently weights that you do not have in your home gym, which says to me, you've outgrown your home gym. Somebody's catching what I'm saying. Coaching allows someone into your personal space for them to say, stop limiting yourself. Pick up the heavier weight. You can do it. And when you do and you have success, it's a whole new experience. Florence says, morning motivation is hovering. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get out of here. Just with that one statement, I'm gonna get out of here, because if I don't, I know I'm gonna talk about the rest of the day away. Fam, I can't do morning motivation tomorrow. I've actually looked at multiple ways of trying to figure that thing out. It's just the timing of the flight just can't work out. But I am gonna try and do one on Friday. So I'm gonna roll. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I absolutely love seeing your comments. Excited that this space is one that people are seeing the need of already. Excited. We're gonna, of course, our next one isn't gonna be till the new year, but I'm excited to have a Q&A session with you. In the meantime, it won't necessarily be a coaching session where we have a live coaching client, but I'll just kind of come live and answer whatever questions you guys have. Fam, I'm always humbled and honored at the time that you guys are spending to come and play in these spaces. Hour and 12 minutes, it's a major investment of your time. I don't take it for granted. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. K-Walk Comedy says, this morning's motivation hit a certain kind of way. Thank you for that. Ooh. Retro Philosophy Show says, just tuning in, we'll catch up with the replay. Hey, enjoy, my friends. I will catch you guys around these internet streets or in the next video. Later, fam. show in the books. Can't thank you guys enough for coming and hanging out. Have an awesome day. See you in the next one.